From the Workplace Ninja Summit in Baden. Smart talks, sharp insights, and stories worth sharing. This is the Workplace Ninja podcast.
And welcome back. There are we again for, I think it's the third recording already, and we have already got some community stage sessions over here. So we have a packed day of interviews, community stage sessions. So my name is Frans Houdendorp, and so this time I'm joined by two co-hosts. So I have Kenny and Peter.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Kenny, you are getting used to it, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
New profession.
Second time today.
New profession.
No, I will not become a radio presenter or something.
No, we need to set up something in Belgium as well for this. So I think we can manage that. We'll do that.
All right.
We have two Germans on the table, all the way from Germany, Ugur and Oliver. Welcome. Maybe good to start with a short introduction. Oliver, we know each other already for a long time because you're also part of the organization team of the Ninja Summit. But what's the rest of you?
So, yeah, my name is Oliver. I'm basically a long-time MVP, not as long as you, Peter.
But I'm a little bit older.
But still 8 years, I'm counting. Yeah. I spend my free time a lot of times with developing small helpers like Ugur. That's why we are a good team, I think. I hope that was also in the session today. Yeah, developing some stuff, working for Kanya as a consultant, always some fun with Intune stuff. So I hope that will be the future for me still, because the AI stuff will take maybe something away from me, but we will see.
Let's see. And Ugur,
yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm Ugur. I'm one of the product managers at Glukania. And yeah, I love to develop simple community tools. I love open source, and we share a lot on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we saw that, and I think if you are a bit into Intune and community, then probably you know all the tools that Ugur has built. But
LinkedIn is the Ugo feed.
Ugur feed.
He saw me last his feed, and I have like 4 or 5 entries about me on his feed, so it's quite funny.
Yeah.
But that's based on AI, so he's always looking at your post.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. The algorithm, right?
The algorithm, yeah.
Or maybe it's just 4 eyes principle.
But starting this conversation, we want to talk a bit on community tools, where you both are active at the same company, but also have the freedom and spare time probably to build some other stuff next to the tools that we are using within Intune, within Entra, within whatever. What makes it necessary to build these kind of community tools?
Oh, that's a bit of an emotionally loaded question, to be honest. So we work a lot with these services. So we of course, as everyone else hopefully, sees a lot of feature gaps in these products. So our goal is to make our lives easier with filling these gaps with custom solutions. So we develop a lot of community tools to fill these gaps, and we share them so other people can also use them and make use of them, basically.
Yeah. How was that for you, Oliver? Because I know XML viewer already for so a long time.
That was basically out of curiosity, so that's the correct pronounced word, because I wanted to know what's going on underneath. So I was always wondering, how is the protocol working? How can I see what is actually happening behind the scenes? And that's why I finally came up with the
first version of Rudy.
Yeah, yes, and he took over. Absolutely.
So you now have time to do other things as well.
Yes.
If Rudy takes over.
He took over, but I'm still maintaining my tool.
Yeah. And we were talking about in community tools, why why it's there, and you guys are doing a lot of effort into that kind of things. Ugur, we had a conversation. I think it's already a long time ago. You have specific moments during the week that you are building this kind of stuff, isn't it?
Yes. So like preferably on Saturday.
Yeah.
Watching football and coding.
We've seen the
my
LinkedIn
kind of
posts.
You see that? Yeah, I like to share sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Watching Liverpool and then coding on the side.
Yeah, gives that inspiration how they play. Then
sometimes if they play good, I'm faster, but if they play bad, I'm slower. So depending on that.
Smashing your laptop.
Damn, I have to.
But Kenny?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
You had prepared all the questions.
No, I didn't prepare all the questions. I think questions should come naturally as well. I think the biggest discussion we always have with community tools is, of course, we cannot use that in an enterprise. It's not supported. What if the guy is run over on the street? What happens then? Personally, I believe it can be a value add, but how are you looking into those community tools? I guess you get the same feedback sometimes, like, I want to buy support, so...
I get, so I think, like, when I first started, I started things to do it for myself, for my daily work. Like, I wanted these tools to support myself as well, and when I started to share them, I had, like, the goal was not that an enterprise uses these tools, right? I want a normal admin that searches for a solution for his current problem that he has while he's sitting in front of his PC, Googling for a solution, to also like make use of my tools basically to help him. That was the goal. And of course, like every tool or most of the tools are open source, available on GitHub as well. So people can just adopt it and build it around it, basically their own stuff if they want to. That's the reason why it's open source. Build your own stuff around that.
Yeah, but you also have community tools, I think, from other people that are not really open. I'm not a developer, so let's say a bit of locked code or hidden code or not open source code. What's your feeling about that? Is that like then it should not be a community tool, or? I mean,
it depends on the. I would say also the financial goals of these people that that like to share the open closed source as well. We are both very lucky to work at a place at Lucania which supports us also sponsoring time and hours. So we can create these open source tools, right? So we understand both mindsets there, but our goal is to open source, publicly available, free to use most of the stuff. Yeah.
And you created a special website, right? ugorlabs.com.
Yes. Oh, you saw that.
With all your
nice.
Yeah, 6 tools are on there.
Yeah, actually there are way more. I have to update the website. Yeah.
So what's your most tool you're most proud of?
It's by far
most used, maybe.
Yeah, it's IntuneBrew.
IntuneBrew.
Yeah, we had a session today about also talking about IntuneBrew, and I just checked yesterday. Daily 135 admins are logging into the website and using that to upload apps to Intune.
I started to use your tool myself when I started to do Mac management. I had no idea on how to do all these apps, and it gave me a great start in looking into it and getting acquainted with it. Yeah. So thank you for that, Ugur.
You're welcome.
It helped
Everybody's
me,
welcome.
and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people in the Mac space as well.
Yeah, I actually started the way you just described it. I also had no plan how to start. Like, I didn't born with a macOS special knowledge, right? So I had to start at some point, and I was like, there has to be a better way to package applications and make them available in Intune. So I remember like I didn't sleep for 1 or 2 days and just retried the Graph API calls to upload apps to Intune, because these things are not. Yeah, you remember, right? We had a long discussions also internally. These things are not documented by Microsoft, so you have to reverse engineer a lot of these things. But it's now publicly available for everyone to see.
It's super cool.
But it takes some nights. You mentioned that, Oliver, but I remember that. What do you remember? Is that remembering Ugur doing stuff, or that you have the same story?
Yeah, I have the same story in form from my SyncML viewer tool, and I have another tool. It's called Autopilot Manager, and that's exactly the same story. Then you have an idea, and then you're stuck in somewhere, and then suddenly it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you go, I need to work
fixed.
in
2 hours. I have a customer call in 2 hours, so
Yeah, then it's 4 hours. I need to be at the customer at 9. Oh, shit.
IT is not hard. Look at him. He's only 60.
But when you're passionate about something, then you lose totally track of time.
Yeah.
It's more or less you follow your passion, you want to get it out, and you feel I can get it working. There's just a small piece missing to it. That's pure passion.
I wouldn't say it's pure passion. Like, you have to be passionate about it, but it's also you have to be a single bit of crazy. Like, that's not normal.
We all have a corner that is not straight, you know. Otherwise, you would not be in. I think when you're doing this community work, or you do in general, it's because you love it, and it's because, like you say, a bit of crazy. But at the end, I think a good engineer or a good person in any profession, it's trying to find that spot, and you want to really know how this. How you get it to work, and when you do, it's like a pot of gold. It's eureka. Then you say, yes, I found it.
If the moment I managed to solve the upload of Mac OS apps,
it's so satisfying.
I got goosebumps. Like I was like, holy moly, that's crazy. Yeah.
We're talking about IntuneBrew. They're doing Mac app management for Intune. SyncML with where you can view some XMLs. That kind of things. Autopilot Manager. What's that?
So Autopilot Manager is basically a small proxy solution which will help you to have devices which are not onboarded to Autopilot a little bit more easier. Because typically you have this PowerShell script which you need to run somehow, and you need to remember the PowerShell command line and stuff.
I'm struggling with it. Multiple. Yeah.
And the idea here is you have a really short command which you execute, and then you get visual feedback by, hey, I'm currently preparing, there's approval process attached to it, someone in the backend can approve this request, and then fully automated, everything is done in the backend, and then the screen turns green basically, and you know, okay, now it's imported again and I can move on. And that helps a lot, because normally you have to figure out, hey, should I take it on a USB stick, or how do I get this queried piece of something to my IT now? And that's all gone with this solution.
Nice. You also had a tool around BitLocker, right? Configuring the pin.
Yeah, heavily used actually.
I wouldn't use it at customers, but a lot of customers are still requiring something.
Yes.
To have a
We had a few months ago that discussion, and the guy came and he said, we need this BitLocker pin, we go modern. I said no. Yeah, but
actually I tried to write like 10 pages why it's not a good idea. And then I released it. but I think nobody is reading it.
But Oliver Kieselbach, he has a really great tool. He has that thing, it's a solution. I say, and what if Microsoft tomorrow removes that functionality? Did you ever consider that? But that's not important. I say it will become important when it happens.
Yeah. But there are some use cases where it's really a nice addition. For example, for a privileged access workstation, it's a perfect tool. Yeah. So, but that's what I tried to explain in the blog post. So for the normal being, which is just not handling this sensitive data on the day-by-day basis, it's maybe not that
the best idea.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you had another initiative, Tenantfault. What's that?
Yeah, Tenantfault is basically the next thing that I wanted to solve for myself as well, which is Intune doesn't have a backup and restore. Or like, let's say it easier. Like, if you go into my tenant and change something, I see the audit log, I see what you changed, but I have to actively look into it, right? I don't have a restore feature in Intune natively integrated. So Graph gives you the superpower to create these things around it. So Tenantfault is basically your drift detection, your backup, and your restore. So if someone messes up, you can restore it. You can also schedule a backup, daily backup, and next day you can just check out, hey, did something change? You can restore settings as well.
Like desired state configuration.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
basically
cool.
Yeah.
What I wanted to see and what I had a dream of that is the backup, making the backup and restoring. That was one thing, but I wanted to know as soon as somebody made a change, it would make the backup for me, kind of snapshot.
I'm working on that right now.
That is super cool.
Yeah. So there will be an alerting and notification
That's
feature.
more or
in
less
there.
a versioning than in the end.
Yeah, and that was where I think in the AMA Ask Me Anything with Microsoft yesterday, that question came up and Matt Call came along like, yeah, it's so super hard for us to do this kind of versioning. And I'm like, okay, at some point I can get it. But then we had an attendee question that said like, yeah, but from a financial institution, versioning would be just fine for us as we know what has changed. And I don't know, Ugur, from your standpoint, is it really difficult or not? I think this is basic functionality Microsoft should offer, but again, you offering these kind of solutions, like together with Ollie, that is where the real world scenarios come along and where you really need that kind of functionality. So, I would really love. Maybe it's a side question, and I'm always wondering.
No, but that's interesting. Like the question you're asking is why is a lot of these things that we are developing not natively available in Intune? And I can tell you the question is, I'm free. I don't have to monetize these things, right? I don't have to run an enterprise. I don't have stakeholders, so I don't have to focus on things that brings in money, right? So I just focus on these things that makes my life easier. That's the difference.
And the scale, Microsoft is operating on a totally different scale.
But that is also that was my side question. That is also why you have become an MVP and why you deliver these kind of additional things where people really benefit from.
Yeah, and it's also like second thing, like I just released IntuneDocumentation.com, which just pulls and reads all your configurations and creates a couple 100-page long PDF file. Like, why isn't that integrated? The data is already in Intune. Why do I have to create another tool, right? Yeah. It's so simple actually, the real world, but
Yeah. What do we miss? We have IntuneBrew, SyncML, Autopilot Manager, 10 default. What do we have?
So the Intune documentation thing is very interesting. Intune monitoring. So creating dashboards, reporting in Intune is for years,
limited.
right?
Broken.
It doesn't show things. Then you have to buy the Intune Suite license for the advanced insights analytics data. So the graph endpoints are available. The built-in reporting and dashboard isn't that great. They have released one for WUFB for the Windows Update for Business service, which is kind of good and by far the best. But it's not there yet.
But that was the Power BI, I think, no?
There's also a Power BI thing. And IntuneMonitoring.com is our approach to use Azure workbooks basically and use the inbuilt hidden feature of making real-time graph calls. So if you look into the ARM template on IntuneMonitoring.com, all the data is being fetched live in real time without Log Analytics Workspace, which is a huge difference because you don't have to wait until the logs arrive. That's the difference.
Didn't you have a call from Microsoft already or something like?
I had a lot of calls.
You broke Gravity.
Should I tell you the story of IntuneAgents.com? You don't want to hear that.
IntuneAgents.com. Yeah. I think.
Some people remember. Some don't want to remember. There's and also IntuneAutomation.com. Like we have 34 scripts right now that fully automate your work tasks in Intune. Also huge deal. Someone is throwing things at us.
Yeah, of course it's the Mirko Smurf.
Yeah. So these things are
Also the Intune offboarder, the device.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes. Yeah, that's I think a hugely used service.
Yes. Second after IntuneBrew, I think. Yeah. It's like, why is it so complicated to offboard device in Intune, Entra ID, Autopilot, ABM, and Enterprise, right? These are huge companies with a lot of people working there. They have to be expect that people want to offboard devices for maintenance, for change the devices for the users, right? So there are use cases, but
you have the advantage you are not working in a specific team. Because you always hear Microsoft saying, but it's another team, it's not us, or it's difficult, we need to integrate. And I think, like you said earlier, I think Microsoft maybe sells that as a different monetized service again. Difficult choice sometimes, I think.
What we see also Glukanya, where you're both working for, is that community tools are transforming into business, commercial products. How does that work for you guys? Is that only adding commercial support on that, or is that even adding additional value into commercial product, or how does that work?
I would say in both ways. It's sometimes the additional support which gets offered. So for example, my Autopilot Manager is basically, if it's implemented in form of a project by customers, I'm fully supporting it under the umbrella of the contract. And I'm really, hey, there's something broken, I'm going and fixing it. If there's something broken in a community way, I need to have time to fix it.
Yeah.
That may be in the next day or in the next week. It depends how fast I have time to look into it.
Vacation.
Yeah, for example. So it sometimes support, but sometimes it's also evolving into something. That's what IntuneBrew, for example, has delivered. It's really shaping the platform Realm Join and bringing in the whole Mac support, basically.
You also see that's what we noticed. You started with IntuneBrew, and suddenly a lot of different vendors put some speed behind the delivery of
I saw it as well.
these kind of features.
So, hey, that's easy.
That was very funny to see, actually.
Well, I'm actually happy to see a lot of vendors getting up to speed with the things. Like I'm honored, like having them to push more and be more innovative in that space. We, for example, so for me, like people are asking me as well, like, is there any support behind that? Is there any contract, privacy policy, terms of service, and so much more, right? I try to, like, these are things that are freely available for the community. They will remain that. They will be maintained by me. And obviously, I might have not time today to fix your issue or for the new future, but I can promise you that I have that ready in 1 week, right? That's basically the way that I go, and I also sometimes don't sleep to deliver more, to be honest. So
even on vacation.
So at the last vacation, I actually worked. So it wasn't it's workation.
Dedication and passion.
But
that's passion.
But because a lot of people have been asking it, we are moving a lot of these things that we are learning from the community side into a enterprise-ready solution called RealmJoin in that case, right? Because people want that support behind that. And the good part is, IntuneBrew is just maintained by me and a couple of other MVP colleagues. But the RealmJoin, when we started integrating it, there's a huge team around that, like developers and also support behind that. So that's definitely a different level.
I think also you work for company Gluck & Kenya. You have delivered a lot of products. Also, I think when you get the time to develop that and spend on community, but you also have these colleagues to when you have an issue to talk to and to fall back. So you have on one side also the support from the company to crack a problem or to have multiple great minds to come to a solution. And that will reflect also the speed of delivery in your community tools. So that's also very nice.
Yeah, we are all using the tools ourselves as well. That's a huge difference. We are not just throwing it out there on LinkedIn. Hey, I got like 10 reactions on that post. We don't care about that. We use these tools and scripts ourselves daily. So there's a lot more to come, by the way. So.
Principle,
exactly.
So that's good.
Yeah.
One last question to wrap up. AI is coming over everywhere. How does this change the way you guys are developing these kind of community tools?
So we are sadly on the NDA. So there's a lot of things happening, but we are more than ready for this AI sphere that's coming up with all the changes, and there will be a lot of things released on the Ignite.
Yeah, but and more on the other side.
On our own work.
Yeah.
I use it a lot for like if you create an issue, for example, there will be a GitHub Copilot will then categorize your issue there based on the criticality. Right, for example, right? I need a way to prioritize issues, right? I can't fix all issues. I just need to focus on the most important thing. Like if it breaks something, I will.
And you are also the product manager for within Gluck & Kenya, so that helps you with that job as well.
Exactly.
And the great benefit, in my opinion, for AI is really the vibe coding. So in the past, it was really a stressful week to figure some things out if you are not a full-time developer, so you are more or less a part-time developer like I, and then I have to dig into concepts. How do I get something to work in Autopilot Manager? And nowadays it's more, I have an idea, and then I can directly go into creating this.
Yeah.
So it's more or less the time between idea and producing something.
prototype or
It's,
something,
it's,
yes.
it's
So
unbelievable.
you're using AI to help you code,
Yes,
at least.
a lot.
No.
Yeah, that's what we
To
heard.
understand, to code.
That's what we heard a lot of times from Intune admins that have an ID and they build with Copilot, with Security Copilot, or what is it, GitHub Copilot, the correct code. But is that good enough?
No,
So it really depends on how you interact with these LLMs. So I see a couple of people asking ChatGPT for PowerShell scripts. Sometimes it works and creates good scripts, but then sometimes it has a restart dash computer inside, and people don't understand why the computers restart, right? But for myself, like having a very easy way to build prototypes based on ideas and discussions that we have with customers and users of your own tools. This is crazy.
and it speeds up the plumbing. So you don't have to create all the classes and everything by yourself. It's just giving you the construct, bam, and then you fiddle in the logic that you want to have.
Yeah.
Nice. So the future is bright, but in this area, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think so, yeah.
But I think the best thing is you always need to have somebody, like you say, understand the code and know what they're doing.
That's the most important. You need to know
I think a
what
lot of
you want
AI
to
people
do.
think they don't need to work anymore and everything
No.
comes out by itself. But it's quality check and know what you're doing as well. So AI is a good tool and not a solution to everything.
So we learned that community tools are really great. They can be used in companies, in enterprises as well, but sometimes with some challenges. But yeah, if you have some challenges with community tools that the guys are building, reach out to them and get the rest of it onboarded. So thanks for joining us on this event, in this recording, and let's see what the future does on these kind of things. Looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And if you're listening, we are up to another Intune management session, and we have a community stage session from Control Up, I guess. So let's see what that brings in the next recording. I say until then, thank you.
Thanks for joining the Workplace Ninja podcast. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep sharpening your ninja skills. Until next time.